Welcome back to the Middle Eight Football Podcast, the fastest 8 minutes in sports. I'm your host, Joe Burks, and let's jump into this Thursday night matchup that occurred last night between the Los Angeles Rams and the San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco coming out on top and improving to 4-1 in a 26-23 overtime win against Los Angeles. First off, what a game. We have another exciting Thursday night football game to break down this week. So let's start with San Francisco. They improved to 4-1, like I just said, and take a super important road divisional game in prime time as one of the most injured teams in football. My question is Kyle Shanahan, their head coach, now the early favorite for the Coach of the Year award? I think it kind of has to be. The 49ers are dealing with a litany of offensive injuries, especially, not to mention on the defensive side of the ball as well. But you think about Nick Bosa, torn ACL. George Kittle has been out several weeks. He's on IR with a hamstring injury. Ricky Pearsall, knee injury, he was out. Juwan Jennings, he was out. Brock Purdy re-aggravated that toe injury. He was out this week. Mac Jones got the start at quarterback. But through it all, Shanahan has led this team to a 4-1 record and maybe the most competitive division in football. I'm so excited to see where the 49ers end up in terms of seeding in the NFC when the playoffs hit. But diving deeper into this offensive performance, Mac Jones, former New England Patriots first round pick, didn't work out there, but he's signed as the backup to the 49ers currently and got the start with Brock Purdy injured. Was so good. 33 for 49 passing, 342 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. And it wasn't just, easy check down throws. He was making impressive throws over the middle of the field. He was making, back shoulder fade throws on the sideline, making throws all night under pressure. I was extremely impressed with his performance. He looked like a startable quarterback every single week, the way he played against the Rams, who have a pretty decent defense. He showed flashes last year as the backup in Jacksonville, but this is a new version of Mac Jones, maybe the best version of Mac Jones we've ever seen, maybe since, Alabama. If Jones keeps playing like this, he was that first-round pick, a few years ago. Maybe he finds a starting job next season on a team like Las Vegas, maybe on a team like Cleveland. Maybe he goes to New York, maybe he goes to New Orleans. The point is, he's proving himself. We've seen plenty of quarterback comeback stories over the past couple years especially. It's been a theme of the early 2020s, it seems like, in the football world. Think about Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Geno Smith, even Daniel Jones right now is having a really big comeback year. I think Mac Jones could definitely be the next quarterback in that line. If I'm Las Vegas, I'm heavily considering picking up the phone in the offseason, offering a trade for Mac Jones to be their starting quarterback, just to see how things go in 2026. Of course, I'm saying that in the scenario where they're not in a position to draft a really good quarterback prospect. But speaking of this 2026 quarterback class, there are a lot of uncertainties. We don't know who's going to declare. Guys have been going way up and down draft boards. How many quarterbacks are going to go in the first round? Right now, we can't really say. Who knows? Maybe a team gets on the phone in the offseason and contacts the Niners, wants Mac Jones instead of gambling on a quarterback. Obviously, I don't want to overreact. There was a reason Jones was the backup coming into the season. But if he puts a couple more games of play like this, this is not the only game that he's been, pretty proficient, pretty effective in this offense. So if he continues to do that, maybe he'll get a starting nod somewhere. Moving on, Christian McCaffrey, running back for the 49ers, obviously an elite talent. He was as good as we expected him to be, especially in the passing game without Juwan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall in the lineup. He had 20 touches, 57 rushing yards, 82 receiving yards, and a receiving touchdown. Kendrick Bourne, Mac Jones' old teammate from New England, who signed with the team recently, 10 receptions, 142 receiving yards. They obviously have some chemistry, from their days on the Patriots together. That was obvious. Bourne was a huge part of the game plan. But on the defensive side of the ball, rookie defensive tackle Alfred Collins, a huge punch out on Kyron Williams, the Rams running back, on the goal line in the fourth quarter. That was a huge play that gave the Niners the ball back. Who knows, maybe if Williams gets in there, the Rams win the game in that scenario. So that was maybe a potential game-winning play from the rookie, Collins. And then in overtime, in that last play of the game for the Rams offense, they were in the red zone of San Francisco on the 11. Fourth down, gotta have it. They run the ball with Kyron Williams up the middle, and it gets blown up. What a hit from safety Marquise Siegel, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He made a massive hit to push the pile backwards and stop this play and win the game for the 49ers. So really just a great performance, both offensively and defensively, all phases of the game, really, for the 49ers. And they are a team that, who knows, maybe they're a contender. That's certainly not what I expected going into the season, but things change. Moving on, we can go to the Rams. They put up the offensive performance we expected. They've been one of the league's best offenses all year. Matthew Stafford, fantastic as always, 30 for 47, 389 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Kyron Williams, 14 for 65 rushing, 8 receptions, 66 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns through the air. Obviously had that fumble on the goal, and that's probably going to haunt him for a while. Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams dominated again. They're probably my favorite receiver duo coming into the NFL this season. They have made good on that. They have been absolutely elite through these first couple games, especially Nacua, who leads the league in receptions and receiving yards. They also have a pretty underrated deep threat in Tutu Atwell, who's really fast, speedy receiver, and made some plays deep down the field this game. Moving on to the defense, we've known this Rams defensive front is so good at stopping the run, applying pressure, getting sacks, and they have so many young players, and their impressive drafting has really paid off in that area of their defense. I mean, Byron Young, Kobe Turner, Braden Fisk, Jared Verse are all fantastic young players that are homegrown. They were drafted with this team. But moving on to more of the actual game, it was interesting play calling that 4th and 1 in overtime that really ended the game. Just to run up the gut, Sean McVay, obviously, I think he expressed after the game that he regretted calling that play. It was a major defensive stand from San Francisco, and obviously that was clearly what decided the game. But in the end, I'm not really concerned about Los Angeles. They're still a really good team, especially on offense. I'm not worried about them at all. They're going to make the playoffs. They could even win this division still. But overall, just another fantastic Thursday Night Football game. I'm a big Mac Jones fan, and I loved how he played. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to follow the podcast, share with your friends, and I'll see you in the next one.